So we told our audience that they could ask us absolutely anything. There was no question off limits, and we've compiled most of the questions here, and we're just going to go through and answer. We haven't prepared for this at all, so you'll get to see kind of the real answers as they come through. So let's start with the first one. How did you and Danielle meet, and what made you decide to partner together?
Okay, so we met at a Brendan Bouchard event. I feel like Brendan gets so much plugging from this whole story.
I love Brendan.
In San Diego. And I feel like we just developed a friendship initially, right?
Yeah, it was basically, I actually didn't want to go to the event. I was like not in the best place. I was going through whole visa issues, and we'll get into that in another story. But one of my friends was like, you need to come, and really, really forced me to come along. And Danielle was a client of hers at the time. And basically, I went along, we hit it off. Basically, we hit it off because everyone wanted to go out drinking and partying on the night.
We were the nerds.
Yeah, we wanted to be there bright and early, which meant early bedtimes, no alcohol, you know the gist. So that's kind of how we hit it off. And then before we worked together, we did like kind of a test project, and it worked really well. And I had an idea, and I was calling Danielle really, really excited about it, and she sent me some research papers around the idea.
And the idea would turn into the society. Exactly. So Natalie was like, I want to create this membership. And I was like, oh, this is an amazing idea. And true Virgo style, just sent you a load of research papers, didn't I? I was like, this is what people are looking for. Like, this is what we should do. And then I started using we.
Yeah, and that was it. And then it just very organically formed from there. And we were working like, she was in the UK, I was in the US, and eventually I convinced her to move out here, and the rest was history.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to convince them.
Okay, next question. Do you and Danielle argue ever?
Yeah, I think, okay. I think we're a little bit like sisters in the sense that like we can have heated debates, but we love each other regardless. Like we know that it's like, and I think it's healthy. So in businesses, I think if you have someone that you can agree with 100% all the time, like you're never going to stretch each other. And so I think we don't argue, but we'll challenge each other. I think it's probably the wording.
Yeah, I would actually probably say we're more always in line with the same vision. Like we're always thinking the same. So we actually don't really fight about business. It's mainly other things. And it's very like sister-like. It's kind of like the kind of thing you would never fight with a friend over. It's like more than that.
Yeah, agreed. Like, oh, have you borrowed my top again?
Yeah, I was just at her house and found out she had all my pens, and she'd stolen things from my office.
I didn't steal them. I thought they were from our work office, in my defense, but they did look cuter in mine.
Okay, you want to read the next question?
Yeah, next question is, this is a good one. If you both weren't entrepreneurs, what would you be doing for work?
I would not be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, you were born an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I have no other option, guys.
I can't imagine you working for anyone. I think for me, I would probably still be a chiropractor. Like, yeah, I think that would be my answer for that one.
Could you imagine me having a boss? Like, really?
No.
I put like, there's no answer to that question.
Yeah. Does the thought of that give you anxiety?
Yeah, well, I don't get anxiety, but if I did, yeah.
Okay, next one. Okay, this is a question for me.
Oh.
What's the best piece of Instagram advice Natalie ever gave you?
This is a good question. Go on, pimp me out.
So, I mean, I'm going to say the best advice you've ever given me was create consistent value-add content. However, do not follow me for Instagram advice. I would always say, like, Natalie, she tells me to do these things, but we've a long time ago decided we were better to divide and conquer, right? So everything that I know is plowed into her account and the BossBabe account, and mine is just kind of, I get told off when I don't post regularly.
My advice, Danielle, do it. Yes. Just actually do it. It doesn't happen. Okay, question for me. If you had to start BossBabe over again with 0 followers, what would you do differently? So I think it's probably less, I don't think there's a ton of things that I would do differently, but if I started again from 0 followers and wanted to scale up really, really quickly, I would probably buy an existing page. That's a really good way to get 1 million followers right off the bat. Or I would partner with lots of people. So that's if I wanted to grow the page really quickly. If I wanted to grow the business really quickly, I wouldn't necessarily focus on the page. What I do wish I did though was YouTube way earlier, more consistently, because I think I could probably have 1 million followers by now, and I don't because I was not consistent. Didn't take my own advice, guys. Could have been a YouTube star.
It's true. I feel like you're made for it.
Damn it.
Okay.
We were just laughing last night when we while having dinner, we had our husbands over for dinner as well because we were working late, and so they know if we're working late, we're just ordering food, and they all need to come together because we're not going to stop working. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna maybe get a following on YouTube and be a YouTube star. And Greg was really taking the piss. I was like, I'm gonna do hair tutorials. He was like, yeah, the tutorial is you sit there and someone comes to your house and does your hair for you.
Yeah,
like, that's not a good tutorial.
No, but it's true. Okay, do you guys have any secret hobbies? I kind of do. What is it? Well, I like colouring in. Don't laugh, right? So, I learned about myself that to relax, I like doing motion-orientated things. Like watching TV doesn't necessarily relax me, taking a long bath doesn't necessarily relax me, whereas I bought those adult colouring books.
That's nice.
It's lovely. It's very grandma like, but
Very
I love it.
I don't necessarily have many secret hobbies right now
Your
because
life's on Instagram.
I work a lot. However, I did have some secret hobbies if you want to learn about them. I actually used to compete at pole dancing. So I pole danced for 3 years.
Can we see the difference?
And I was really good. And I competed. I like would be in shows. I also used to be in a rifle club. That was a little hobby that I had. I used to like shooting. So I used to have a lot of hobbies before BossBabe. Now BossBabe kind of is my hobby.
Yeah, that's true too.
I was like texting Danielle this morning, like, I'm going to take my evenings to start learning this new thing that I really want to learn so that we can be even better. And that's what my evenings are going to be now. So between that, baths, watching Housewives, going out for food.
You've not seen my reply yet. I was like,
God.
yes, me too. Let's create,
nice one.
let's create business decks together.
See, this is why we work. Okay, what was the question that you missed?
Okay.
Where do you think BossBabe would be if Instagram didn't exist? Huge. No, email list. YouTube or email list. I think email list is everything. Like Instagram is great and it looks, obviously we have a lot of followers on there and it looks great and everything, but an email list.
Yeah, it would exist. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So wherever the people are at, who do each of you look up to in life and business? Okay, I feel like we should answer this one together.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Sarah Blakely.
I knew that would be the case.
That would have been so awkward if we didn't say the same person.
Yeah, I would have done. We haven't practiced. I feel like Sarah, if you're watching.
Sarah, we love you and we want to collaborate.
What do you love about her?
I just love how down to earth she is, how she seems to do it all and she's not trying to be perfect in it all, how she still owns so much of her company. She hasn't really taken money. She gives back. She creates a product that's really empowering.
Agreed to all of them. And I love her humor. I love that she doesn't take herself too seriously. Yeah. And like, you can tell how successful she's been. Like, she's so humble. I love that.
If any of you watching this video really, really love us, share this video with Sarah and be like, Sarah, go to this time in the video and watch these girls and collaborate with them because they love you.
They're fangirls.
Okay, what are your biggest fears?
I know what yours is. Snakes. She really is very terrified. Yeah.
We're working on that, guys. We're doing some therapy.
My fears are more deeper rooted than that.
Oh God, like what?
It's like a fear of time. Time's just going so quickly. I think I need to book a therapy session.
I feel like we both also have a fear of like not achieving our biggest potential. I think that's a big thing that drives us.
I think that's what drives us and why we work so hard as well, because we're always like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this now.
What's your favorite thing about your career?
Yeah, I got 2, I think. So one of mine is like seeing the impact that we have in other people's lives. Like we have a hangout every single Monday, which is where everybody in our company comes together and we have a slide deck and we talk through like wins and learnings. And one of the slides in there is like impact, and we share testimonials and share achievements of people in our community. And that always lights me up. Like that's what keeps me going. The fact that we're having so much impact in not only that person's life, but the people in their family and the people around them. So I feel like that for sure is the first one. What about you?
Yeah, that's definitely the first one for me. Another one is I get to wake up and do what I love every single day, and I'm not tied to anyone else's. You heard it, I couldn't have a boss. I'm not tied to what anyone else wants me to do. If I want to wake up and work on some creative project, I can do that. I can travel, I can work my own hours, and I get to decide how much money I earn. So I really get excited about what I'm building for like my future family, and then also what we really get to do for the people that work with us. Like we we get to really enrich their lives too, and that's really meaningful.
Yeah, I did a podcast on that today actually about how important culture is for us and how much time we spend like carefully curating it. And even like the trainings that we did were like the Enneagram trainings and personality tests. Like I think that's what's really I love about it is we get to create an environment that we want to work in, which then hopefully, I think it does, benefits everybody else. Like they really enjoy it too. But mine were also going to be as well financial freedom. Like for me, I used to hit that glass ceiling and I found that really claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And then freedom piece, which is obviously part of my story and why I went online. It's karaoke night. What is your go-to song?
I reckon I'm great at karaoke, if I'm being completely honest.
She does. I mean, I've not really heard you sing
I'm
except
not
in the shower.
I'm actually not a bad singer. That's the truth. I'm not a bad singer. I'm never going to start a YouTube singing channel. But I do genuinely think I'm good at most things. I pep myself up a lot, but I do think I'm a good singer, decent singer. But if it was karaoke, probably Britney Spears, honestly, because I would like to I like to act out. So I would want to like do all the dance moves. I feel like Britney's got a personality that you just can act out pretty easily. I would want to perform.
Yeah, that sounds very you. And I think I would be like the person who's just like, oh, it's my go here, Natalie, you just take mine because I'm like not here for the karaoke.
Natalie, can you just perform for me, please? Yeah. I'll take pictures or whatever you want me to do.
Yeah, I feel it's really important to know your strengths and weaknesses, and singing is not one of my strengths. We don't need to do that.
You're not terrible.
I'm not terrible, but I'm not
She's
great.
not terrible.
And therefore, you know, I mean, if I had a few drinks, maybe. But then I would have to, I feel like I'd be able to like get all emotional into it.
Stephen, when we were like early on dating, he took us to like one of those like hole in the wall karaoke bars where you like pay for a room and you like get drinks and stuff. I was only maybe 2 glasses of wine deep. They gave us a room and they were like, we've only got this room for 1 hour because we didn't book it. We can fit you in between people. 1 hour seemed to pass in like 2 minutes and I was like, I'm not ready to give this room up. So they moved us to another room for an hour. I was there for like 6 hours.
Hang on. Out of this, how many songs did Stephen sing?
Not many. He like had to sit and watch it, and then when he kept picking his phone, I was like, pay attention, I'm really killing this one. And I ended up having like a lot of glasses of wine. It was a good time. I don't know if Stephen felt that way, but I definitely
had a good time. That's what matters.
Yeah.
If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? My instinct is cake, but then I feel like I'm gonna get sick of that. I feel like maybe, those burgers that we have are nice. Or a rice dish.
I
Sunday dinner.
love rice pudding so much.
Oh,
Sunday dinner, yeah. I love rice pudding, yeah.
I've never seen you eat rice pudding.
Yeah, because it's harder to make when you're trying to do it dairy-free. So I'm trying to be healthy. And also my grandma makes it better than anyone else could. So I just kind of wait till I go home and then she makes it for me. And then I eat so much that I feel sick. But Sunday dinner, because it's quite varied, or I could be carnivore if I really had to be. So I would just do steak.
I think you should, I find this really interesting about you. Can I share how you eat on your plate? So one day I learned about Natalie was living with her. So I'm very much like, I'll eat everything together on my plate. Natalie literally works round the plate. And like, should we eat the potatoes first? Or what do you eat first? I know you say the meat to last. Is it your veg?
Yeah, but well, yeah, probably veg or like the carby side and then probably the meat.
You say the best till last, right?
Though if I have loads of broccoli, I'll leave that till the last because unless it's got cheese on it, I'm not a broccoli fan, honestly. Like I eat it because I'm supposed to, but I can't say that I live for it. I do like kale, dinosaur kale to be specific, and then
but we're not
chard.
living on the last meal. That's not what I'm feeling is kale. I feel like the Sunday dinner, that's a good varied. I like that. Okay. Oh yeah. Do people know what Sunday dinner is?
No.
For the Americans, it's like meat,
kind of like
potato.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
But you have it every Sunday in the UK.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. What is your favorite vacation spot?
I love France in the summer.
I was gonna say Spain, like Mallorca, Ibiza, but mainly because I have loads of good memories there from being a kid, and I really like the Spanish are just so chill as well. Like, you know, it's there, you go, you have a siesta, like you have a nap in the day, eat late. I like that vibe.
That.
Yeah.
You like Dubai too?
I do like Dubai. Very different vibe there.
What are your pet peeves? I have a lot, so do you want to?
Oh, can I share some of yours? I bet I get these right. I've learned what Natalie's pet peeves are.
Oh my god, go on then.
So, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Some of your top pet peeves.
Okay.
First of all, aesthetics. If you are creating, guys, anything to do with an Instagram post, it must be right in the center. If it's not in the center, with anything actually, if there's anything that needs to be created, I mean, I've seen Natalie like get a ruler out and measure it on the paper just to make sure. So first of all, anything to do with formatting of posts, PDFs, workbooks, any of those things. Second one is making sure if you are using capitals, capitals at the beginning of every word that has to be throughout. So you know how sometimes you might have a sentence and it doesn't necessarily need a capital at the front, but aesthetically it looks nice. You have to make sure that's succinct throughout. Also, oh, I can just go on.
Keep going.
Yeah, I just know this is what happens when you work together a lot. Full stop. What is it? Dot, dot, dot. Can only be 3 dots. No more, friends. No more.
Used to have team that would put like 6 dot, 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 no, or like 10 exclamation marks.
Yeah, that was a funny one. Certain emojis, you get upset when they're used.
Yeah.
Like she's like, Danielle, I feel physically sick.
Yeah, it does make me feel sick. Well, you don't like the poop emoji.
Oh no, that does upset me. I'm curious, what do you think mine are?
If people don't follow processes that Danielle has meticulously set, she doesn't like that. That's a really, really big one. You really just don't like it if you spend time explaining something to someone and they just don't get it. If they keep asking for clarification and they do it wrong, it just like does your head in so much.
Yeah, that's so true.
And if you mess things up and don't have things organized, Danielle loses her shit.
Yeah, I like people being prepared as well.
Oh yeah.
If you come to a meeting and I've asked you to prepare beforehand, just make sure it's there.
Yeah, she's like the most prepared person you've ever met. Like she'll never turn up to a meeting unprepared. I will, but I'm good at like faking it so that it looks like I'm prepared anyway, because I'm generally not going to go to a meeting of something I don't know anything about, but I'm not as prepared as Danielle. I'm like, I have a notebook which is kind of taken the form of a comfort blanket. Yeah, it's like turning my notebook. I have so many pet peeves. People eating with their mouth open. Oh yes. People like talking about people behind their back. Like I could go on. I think I'm a pet peeve person. You have a lot of peeves. Yeah, same. I get peeved. But we're nice, really. Yeah, that makes us sound grumpy. We just know what we like. Yeah. Okay. What's the best piece of professional advice you've ever received? I feel mine's like an accumulation. Yeah. I think it's not necessarily like one single thing. I think I've learned over the years, like, don't try and make things perfect. I think 80% like is done, in the sense that things need to be like detail orientated, but essentially if you spend so much time getting something perfect, then if it doesn't land well, you don't really necessarily, it's not as easy to pivot at that point. So I think that's one of mine. I also really believe in that whole mantra, like if you don't quit, you can't fail. Like there's so many things that we could have just given up on, but we've like tried over and over again in different iterations. I think that's one piece of advice that people have learned. Yeah, I think for me, it's been around hiring. Like I've had a really amazing mentor who's taught me a lot about hiring, and you hear it all the time, but hiring slow is really, really important. And actually, you know, asking people questions that might come across uncomfortable in interviews and really getting to know them on a deep personal level. Not asking about their situation with their partner, but on a personal level, in a sense of, could I spend every single day with this person and be okay spending every day with this person? Or do I know that our personalities are gonna get along well? Like, I just think really getting to know someone before you hire them and making sure they can do the job and they've got the right attitude is really, really important. Hiring on attitude is so, so important. I completely agree. And then one last one I think is like always try not to be the smartest person in the room. Yeah. And that's always really important. Like try and learn from other people around you, because that's when it's going to make the business go better. So there is an amazing program called YGA, and it's exactly how I started to learn this whole YouTube thing in the first place, which I thought would be really nice to give away a free scholarship to YGA. So we have actually picked someone who entered on the giveaway video, and the winner is Celeste Santiago. So we're going to comment on your comment on YouTube, but also drop us a DM and let us know all your contact details, and we'll get you access to that. And if you're interested in having my YouTube mentor come on my channel and talk all things YouTube and actually teach you what she's teaching me, then leave a comment below and let me know and we can set it up. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. If there are things in this video that maybe surprised you, let us know below. But also if we've got questions that we didn't answer that you do want us to answer, pop it in the comment box below and we will do another one of these at some point. This is fun. Thanks for coming on my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube debut. Yes.